And today we're going to finish up our look at every single one of the divisions in the NHL, because soon we're going to start doing team breakdowns for the season. So it's going to be fun. So let's finish this up and we can start moving on to other things. So this time the blah blah blah. That's great enunciation. And today we're going to be finishing up our look at every single one of the divisions so we can soon go into the team previews for the next upcoming season. So let's finish off strong with the Metropolitan Division, which of course has the Stanley Cup winners, your Carolina Hurricanes. At the top of the charts, of course, leading the way. They won the East this year. They were second in the league at the end of the season overall. And, of course, they won the Stanley Cup, the freaking Hurricanes. The bunch of jerks did it, and it's because they're freaking amazing. And I think they got a good chance of doing it again. I don't know how many of... I don't think of all the divisions I'm, like, so certain of that team that won the division this year is going to do it again. But I think the Canes are probably the best one to run it back. They're so well run, so well managed. The team that's returning is basically the same, minus Seth Jarvis just being injured. Obviously, Alexander Nikishin's a question mark right now, but if he's moved on, if he's kept on the team, fantastic. If he's moved on, I got great hope that Eric Tulsky knows what he's doing, and he's bringing in something good. So, no matter what, if they're not done making moves, they're only going to get super better. And even if they don't make any moves and they keep Nikishin on the team, they sign him to a deal, they still have a bunch of cap space. There's still the upside of Logan Stankoven now really hitting his prime in the playoffs, becoming a true 30-goal scorer this season, really big breakout year. And Jackson Blake, who is my favorite guy in the NHL right now, I think could have a huge breakout season alongside of him, and especially with Jarvis now out of the lineup for this current season, for the start of the season. I think that line's going to get a lot more looks in regular games and get some more points on the board and really flourish. So the Canes have they're just so well put together. There's really no flaws with this team, and they still have cap space to sign a guy like Tarasenko for extra scoring depth, right? So much good going on here. Great stuff for our Hurricanes. Pittsburgh, they gotta start sucking at some point, right? We've been every single year, they're the team that's they're going down this year. Ever since 2021, especially in 2021, where they had that horrible showing against the New York Islanders, right? When Jari just passed the puck to, was it Lee or Pajot, whoever it was, and they just got scored on. I've been thinking every single year it's the year the Penguins fail, and they just keep going, and they just keep pushing. And I can't believe it with the guys like Erik Karlsson and Crosby and Malkin and Letang. You'd be like, when is it just going to fall off a cliff? But I think it's got to happen soon, right? They have a little bit of a youth movement going on. They have Kindle. That's about it. Obviously, you could highlight some random other players if you want to, but overall, it is old man city there, and at some point it's gotta fall off a cliff, right? So the Penguins, I really don't see ending up in second again, especially with the competition behind them coming up this year. Even if the Penguins do just as good this year with, I think, 95 points, right? 95, 98, one of those. I think one of the two teams below them is about to overcome them, which going to the Philadelphia Flyers. I love this team's current direction. They have a ton of cap space. When I was looking at their Leo Carlsson signing, I was really scared. And of course, that's one of my biggest videos now. I was really scared with the signing. I don't really know how I didn't think the money would work and there'd be a bad pathway for them. But now they have there's tons of cap space to land a big fish still. Maybe not this year, but they can do it in the future. But for this season right here, they've got so many ups, right? Guys like Martone and Barkey, Bump or Bonk, whichever one, they have ridiculous names. Both of them, they're both young. Can all take step forward. Matvei Michkov, I have a feeling, is going to not come into camp fat and that whole stupid thing at the beginning of the year. I think they're going to come in ready to go after having a fun first taste of the playoffs. Trevor Zegras is finally looking great. Drysdale signed to a contract. I think there's still some flaws that make this team not so incredible, but they've got a lot going for them, especially a full year of Martone. You gotta love it. So the Flyers, good stuff, but I think they'll be better than the Penguins this year, but the Washington Capitals, a team that I think ended in 12th place in the season and still missed the playoffs, is ready to freaking go. Won last year with Ovi, and they're making it right. Adding Kyrou, adding Tuck. This team is solid as hell. The offensive group is undeniable. And when we've seen with teams like the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? And the Oilers and other teams, where to be successful in the regular season, you have to score a lot. It's a goal-scoring contest. I think the regular season is a goal-scoring contest, and then the playoffs become a war of defense and attrition, right? And I think the Capitals have loaded up on offense, obviously, and there's a lot of good vibes in that locker room as well, right? I think that's one big thing. The motivation for this team to just make this such a big year for Ovi and a big year just for hockey, the retirement year of the Great Eight, I think there's going to be a lot of motivation in that locker room, a lot of guys stepping up, and also the young guys on this team too, like the Prodi now, like the normal Protis, Alexi, had a down year, and now I think he's going to step back up. Ilya's going to step up and grow. Ryan Leonard's coming up, right? He's here. He's only getting better. So for me, the Capitals, they have some issues on defense that make me worried for like the playoffs, but for regular season games, they're going to win a lot, they're going to score a lot, and they've got the best Canadian goalie in the NHL on their team. So this team is stacked, and I'm scared as a Canes fan. This might be a team that overcomes them, but we'll keep them there for right now. The Columbus Blue Jackets, I don't know. What are you? Like, what the hell are the Blue Jackets? There's just... What are you? You're just nothing. You're just completely meh. Marchenko unfollowed the Blue Jackets, who's arguably their best player, definitely best goal scorer, and he's probably going to be walking away from this team, getting traded, which should get them a good haul, but that's crazy. Adam Fantilli's not signed to a contract. That's weird. And the rest of the team's extremely all right. Like, they're nothing. Even if, let's say Marchenko went nowhere, Fantilli signs for a great deal. He's completely humble and signs for $1 million. And they spend that money on guys like Tarasenko and anyone else that's still available. They offer Sheet Armor Jack guy, I don't know. And they put some stuff together. I don't think best case scenario, everyone playing to their best abilities. I mean, Zach Werenski also, I know he wants to stay on this team, but I think he's staying on this team for now, and then at the trade deadline getting moved on from. I don't see, I was going to say best case scenario, like Fantilli explodes into like an 80-point centerman, and Marchenko scores 45 goals, and guys like Kent Johnson step up to 70 points or something like that. Werenski's got has a 100-point season. Greaves steps up and is I don't think all these things have to happen for them to even be approaching the levels of the Capitals, Flyers, and the Hurricanes, right? I don't believe in that at all. I don't know. I think Columbus is once again in the exact same spot that they've been in. Right outside the wild card, but that was the best season they could have had, is right outside. Even if they reach their highest, they're not making it into playoffs. I don't know. They need to just completely restart. Rebuild. You move the team out of town and make a new team. This team's got a curse. This team's got an issue. They just need to restart. That's the end of the story there. Just completely. The New York Islanders. I think this is a fun team. I love the Islanders. They're so much fun. The fan base, the colors of the team. Of course, Matthew Schaefer is just such a great story, such a great kid. I hope for the best. But overall, if you just look at their lines for 1 second, it is a completely average team. Even if young guys have the few young guys that they have, like Heineman and whatever, Holmstrom, take a big step forward. They add 20 points to their season. And Barzal becomes a 75 point, 80 point, is a 75, 85 point centerman, let's say. Bo Horvat has a 35 goal scoring season. I just don't think the rest of the lineup is great at scoring. I mean, Sorokin's obviously back there, and we know how much a goalie is so useful, but I just don't I don't know, Schaefer, like, he's going to take another step forward as well, but this team's extremely average. I think they go up, but I don't know how much. But talk about a team that should be going up, the New Jersey Devils. What the hell is this team? Completely, like, should be in the mix up here. They should be. Jack Hughes, he is a top 10 centerman in the NHL. You having that makes you have a commodity that a lot of teams wish they could have, and if they did, they'd be Stanley Cup ready. Surrounding him are Timo Meier, who has completely disappointed ever since leaving the Sharks. When I'm a Sharks Canes fan, I would say that I grew up Sharks Canes fan now. The Sharks, when they traded Meier, I was like, he is so good. He is phenomenal. He's going to be fantastic. When he got traded to New Jersey, I was like, okay, he's with Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. He's going to get set up way better than any guy like Hurdle or Couture on the Sharks. It has gone nowhere. And of course, injuries has been the story of this team. But it is just a disaster. And this team still is in a weird phase where they're in this funk of like, oh, they still need to trade Hamilton. They traded away Nemec instead, so they keep the old guy who's getting worse. And then you have Jake Allen as your starting goalie, which I know I made my video about the Devils goaltending a little bit ago, and that was the whole thing of like, who's actually going to be the goalie? It's Nico Dawes, whatever, I don't care. I don't believe that's going to be a tandem that is going to work for the Devils, and I know there's a whole thing about Hellebuck getting added, which if that happens, that's fantastic. I don't know what they trade away for that. I don't know what is worth Connor Hellebuck that no other team's going to offer more for, like the Carolina Hurricanes. I just don't see it. I don't see it. The Devils, they should be so much better. A healthy season that you have Jack Hughes getting 110 points, Nico Hischier's a Selke centerman, but the wingers around them just don't get a whole lot done, and the defense is pretty all right, honestly, but the goaltending there and the depth forwards, like, I don't see it. I'm not seeing it, and I just don't know. But with the guys that they do have, it should be so much better, but I don't know. And then the New York Rangers. What an unpredictable team. Because this team still has JT Miller and Mika Zibanejad. Those are two centermen who could be 90-point players. You've added Pavel Dorofeyev, who could be possibly a 50-goal scorer in the NHL. You have Gabe Perreault, who is all right, is growing, and was half a point player this year. Maybe he can start growing into more of like a 50, 60-point guy next year. Alexis Lafreniere, who knows? You have Will Cooley still on the team, right? Like, there's some good stuff. And then defensively, you have Fox and Dursey, and you've added Marcus Pettersson, like, and Gavrikov. Like, and Shesterkin. Oh, come on. Give me Shesterkin any day of the week. But this team's best case, like, where I talk about the other teams on this, like, these three right here, it's like best case scenario, this happens. The Rangers' best case scenario could plant them right in here, right? It should, like, it was best case scenario. Like, this could be the top three of this division, with the Flyers, like, just hanging outside with not enough, like, willpower to get through, right? Like, that's what this could look like. But Gavrikov is apparently going to ask for a trade request, or did. He doesn't like the direction the team's going in. And Zibanejad was obviously has always in trade rumors. JT Miller was a -30 this year and was awful, horrible captain. Lafreniere is still is playing top 6 minutes while producing bottom 6 points. It's extremely weird. Like, they were bad, but they still can be good. But it's weird. It's weird, and I really don't know where the Rangers end up. I really don't. But my prediction for this division, I'm going to put the Canes back at the top. I think they're going to ride the highs of what they did early in this season with the amazing house there in Raleighwood. I think the Canes top the season again, being number 1, followed by the Capitals. I think it's the same thing. The Capitals' house is going to be buzzing, knowing what this season means, and I think they're going to do a whole lot of damage to a lot of teams. That doesn't mean being in second place is going to make them great in playoffs because there's still some issues there, but I think for the regular season they're at number 2. And then I'm going to say the Flyers hang in there. I think the Flyers hang it out. They keep up the third. I think the Penguins drop around the Columbus range. And I think the Devils do spring back up, and so do the Rangers. And I'm going to say... these three are the bottom 3, obviously. The Rangers and Devils... If everything goes right, the Rangers should be here. And especially with the new ownership, or the president of the team, was it Nolan's son stepping in? Like, I think the team's trying to win. I don't think with new presidency of the team, I don't think they're going to be aiming to try to sell and rebuild or retool. I think they're more trying to buy in now to start like a good start to the new leadership of the team. So my guess is they're going to try to win, and if anything, they'll add instead of subtracting. But the Devils should be here. This should be like a 5-way race, in all honesty. With the Flyers, the team hanging out to dry. But the Flyers are the team of these 3 that actually performed this year. So it's extremely weird. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to say the Devils have a bounce back. And with the amount of injuries they've had, I think they stay healthy for this year. And I think they end up in the top 3. It's a very red division. And then I think the Flyers beat out the Rangers. And yeah, that looks pretty okay. And that's honestly the way it should be. The Islanders don't need to be good yet. They're waiting for guys. There are some guys like Aitchison and Eklund and whoever else coming up the pipeline to add to the lineup. They can still be bad for a little bit. Matthew Schaefer's going to do his thing. There's going to be good vibes around the team. And get another decent draft pick. Maybe they land on someone big. Obviously, they're the GM of the Islanders. Very good GM. So I think this is a decent spot for them. The Blue Jackets need to fail. And the Penguins are hanging in there, and they'll lose a lot. So that is all I've got to say about each of the divisions. You can watch all of them on the channel now, and that is it. So thank you for watching. Tell me down below how wrong I am, and until next time, too sweet, make sure you subscribe, and have a fantastic day, and ta-ta for now.